What up, dude? How's everyone doing? Is everyone doing all right? Boy, it's been pretty crazy couple of days. Let me tell you. Good. What's up? I am doing good. Awesome, dude. Really glad. Really glad you guys are doing great. Um, there's a lot of things that I want to go over regarding Ashes of Creation. And so I made my video today, which was great. Um, and Laughables, dude, thank you so much for the follow, dude. Thank you, and welcome. Um, Basically, it's gonna be a chill stream. There's a couple things of Ashes that I want to kind of go over with you guys, give some thoughts, opinions, maybe create some discussions about, and then I want to also react to a boy to a video our boy Richie SH did. And so I want to kind of springboard off of that, which is going to lead us, I think, into other discussions. I think it's going to be a pretty important topic overall. So I'm excited. I was kind of shocked no one was actually streaming today. I'm like, Wednesdays usually it's like popping, like Golden Feather, Nice, like Lore Forge, everybody's on Wednesdays. And then I looked, I was like, oh wow, like there's like, I think Tankologist is streaming right now, but there's like no one else. So let me see. I actually thought I had followed you a while now. I have watched your content for probably 6 months now, somewhere around there. Dude, Laughables, well, thank you so much for supporting like that, dude. I really appreciate it. Been streaming a lot more than I've been creating YouTube content, but that is going to change. I'm going to try to be, I don't want to give like, oh, I'm going to do a video a week, but I am going to try to do more consistent YouTube content. So I'll try my best. So let me see. Howdy, apart from feeling bummed out about Netherlands being kicked out of the Euro Soccer Championships against England, doing pretty well. Dude, Rockta, I don't follow football, like, or not American football, but like, we call it soccer here, but I know everywhere else people call it football. I don't follow any kind of sports. I'm not a sports guy at all. I don't even know when the NBA or the NFL or hockey leagues, soccer, I'm just... It's never been a thing for me personally. So it sucks though. I'm sorry that your team didn't get to make it. So you can talk about how I just found out. Wait, can we talk about how I just found out you can turn off the noise on microwaves? Wait, what? You can turn off the noise on microwaves? How the hell do you do that? Are you going to make me YouTube this? Wait, what? What? Okay, I have to know. Oh my God, I'm going to blow my wife's brain.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another quick video. In today's guide, I'm going to show you how to turn off the beeping sounds on your microwave. So if you're trying to have a late midnight snack and your family's asleep, you don't have to worry about potentially waking them up. A lot of people don't realize you can turn off the sound, and it's actually pretty easy to do and pretty universal for all microwave brands. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. Okay, so looking at your number pad, all you have to do is locate your number 2, press and hold it for about 2 to 3 seconds until you hear the beep. There it is. So that's all there is to it. Now you can see when you press any of the buttons, nothing makes a sound. Now if you do want to turn audio beeping back on, all you have to do is press and hold the audio button again and you'll hear it beep. There it is. And now beeping has returned. So, well everybody, I hope you enjoyed today's quick video on how to silence your microwave and or turn off the beeping sound. You know, I went about 30 years of my life before.
Wow. Well, I honestly, not even Laughables, me and you were on the same. I honestly thought he meant the whirling sound too. But the fact that you can actually turn off the actual, like, beeping of that too is kind of nuts. Interesting. Well, golly, at least you learn something once every day, don't you? Jesus Christ. First like, let's go. Oh yes, thank you so much, Lobster, thank you so much for liking on YouTube. And if you are watching on YouTube, I really appreciate any likes. Helps it pump it out to the algorithms and stuff like that. But interesting. So we are gonna watch our boy Richie SH. He did this video 2 days ago. I have to watch it. I watch all of Richie's videos because I'm contractually obligated to. And so I don't want to get my money penalty for, watching within the past, 72 hours. So I have to watch it. So did you see that narc video? Which narc video? This narc video? I have not watched this narc video. No, I got started on it. I have not watched it. And one of my buddies was asking me if I watched the narc interview personally. I don't even know if I want to watch that. Everybody that's been watching that hour-long interview tells me, dude, just watch it. Dude, just watch it. Dude, just watch it. I don't know. It's an hour long. Like yeah, it was terrible. Yeah, Narc is a very particular taste of content creator, right? And believe me, I used to love his content. I used to love his content from back in the day. I didn't really care for more of the meme skit stuff personally. I didn't mind it, but I usually just skipped it. But like, I don't know. Like his videos now they're just different. They're just a different they're different quality, I would say. After that narc interview, he's a D-bag confirmed. Really? Like, so that's what I was hearing. Was he a douche to his guest, or was he being a douche towards Ashes of Creation? We talking about the narc / Mike interview? I watched it this morning. Okay. Dude, I've heard it from so many people. I don't both. Wow. Is he what is he trying to do? First of all, I heard that in his Discord, he got rid of the Ashes of Creation general chat. I actually went into his Discord and I confirmed it. I saw that it was gone. And it's what is he doing? Why is he trying to do this so close to the Alpha 2? He was a D-bag to Ashes creators and Phantom X specifically. He said he hated all of us. I don't know. Yeah, he even bashed Steven so hard. I've always said Narc is probably one of the most persistent, and he definitely works. He works so hard, but again, it's the doomerism and his trolliness. I mean, you've cultivated a community that fosters that kind of behavior, right? And there's a lot of times too where he gets sick of his own chat and he's banning people left and right. And I'm like, bro, you can't be fostering this negative attitude and this behavior of being trolly on your Discord and everything. And then you're going to appeal to that demographic to then go into your Twitch chat and try to troll you. I don't understand where he comes from most of the time. I don't know. I mean, look, I don't really try to worry about anybody else, especially Twitch wise. I have enough stuff on my own plate, but I don't know. It's just, if he wants to dog on all of us, that's fine. I don't care. I've been called worse. So it's fine. If he doesn't like my content or doesn't like anybody else's content in the Ashes category, that's fine. But I think what I find to be a little messed up though is the fact that he brought Phantom on so Phantom can discuss the stuff on his stream for then to have him disrespect him. He didn't have to do that. Phantom didn't have to go on Narc's stream to do anything. He did that for you. So I don't know. To me, it's, if he did do that to my boy Phantom, I do take, I am kind of a little bit upset at that if he's disrespecting him, because again, Phantom is one guy that I've known in the community where he truly tries to help people out. He's literally he's just such a nice dude. on stream. He's also a nice dude behind closed doors. I've had nothing but good interactions with him. So, I mean, whatever. I had to shut off his stream. Too much negativity and Doomium. That's what I've been hearing lately. I don't know. Like, why is it that the biggest Ashes of Creation content creator is in the most coped Doomium mode when we're literally so close to the launch? We're so close we can utterly taste it. And then he's over here just like self-destructing. Like, I don't even know. Like, I mean, is that too much to say, self-destructing? Like, I don't know. He was pretty critical of Phantom for not testing the way he thinks he should have. Wait, what? Bro, everybody tests you in their own unique way. Like, who's Narc to say how Phantom should have been testing out like his own privilege? Like, he bought it. He can do whatever he wants. If you just want to test one singular ability the whole time, he's privy to that. Like, I don't know, man. It's just, again, I'm not going to speak for Narc. I mean, if Narc wants to have those opinions, that's fine. But I mean, there's a reasoning why Narc doesn't show up on anyone else's stream, because he claims autism, but then he has people on his stream. He had the developers of PAX Day. He had Mike. Clearly his autism isn't too much. It's honestly for the fact that he didn't want to help any other Ashes content creator out. You know, because that's what it is. Like, again, like we all kind of share an audience, so to speak. And he just didn't feel like, I don't want to share my audience with you guys. And that's fine. That's totally fine. I just thought that there would have been people to actually see you in a different way. Like, if he would have been on my 1v1, I wouldn't try to like railroad him or anything like that. I would try to ask him, like, what made you interested in Ashes? Like, why are you into MMORPGs? Like, I would ask him the same thing I would ask anybody that showed up on my 1v1. But I don't know, like, he thinks like people are out to get him, or, you know, he thinks that we don't deserve it. We don't work as hard as he does. And that may be true. Like, I definitely don't work as hard as Narc does. But, you know what I mean? Again, he's entitled to show up when he wants to show up, but at least he could just be up front. You know, if he didn't want to show up on my stream or anyone else, it'd just be like, no, dude, I don't want to go on your stream because I don't want to support you. And I would have been more accepting of that than try to claim some other thing. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's just about just being up front. I like straight shooters, you know, just be straight. You see, I think Dark is playing to the audience that Asmon brought in for him. Possibly. I think that's definitely a part of it too. Let me see. It was a dumb take. I mean, I don't know. Every time I go into Narc's stream, it's usually like that. Like, I just feel like he just, either he processes it in his head wrong, or I think he goes off emotionally first than logically. I think he tends to lead off more emotionally with his thinking than being like logical. I don't know. Everyone's different. Well, Steven just can prove him wrong. Steven said he was going to prove all the haters wrong in so many words. Oh yeah. I mean, Steven's very direct about that too. There are reports that Narc has major issues and has nothing to do with autism. Possibly. But again, when I reached out to him, like, you know, personally, like on Discord to see if he'd show up on 1v1, and he says, like, no, like his autism would, like he wouldn't be able to do it because of autism, basically. So I'm like, okay, well, you know, okay. I just didn't push it forward. Like, I'm like, all right, that's fine. But I've asked him before in the past. Like, I even went into his stream and I asked him, hey, if you ever want to do 1v1, and he just said that he wouldn't do it. I don't know. Let me see. I think it's either playing up too much to be a character or just stonewalling himself and being too impressionable with other doomers. I don't know, possibly. Look, we can talk about Narc all day. Like, let's just let's watch this Richie SH video and feel better about ourselves. All right, let's do it.
January 17th, 2024, the last pre-order pack for Ashes of Creation ended, along with access to Alpha 2, Beta 1, Beta 2, and the ability to obtain various cosmetics.
Why am I not on here? You got Rive, you got Nice, you got my boy Q. Like, am I like super small somewhere? Like, am I like where? Bro, I'm hurt. Like, truly hurt. Holy crap. He didn't ask me for a photo. Actually, he has photos of me. Yeah, Vertek and Chibi are on here. I guess we're not in the cool Richie SH club.
cosmetics through Intrepid's shop. Something that, while was given ample notice, still created a bit of FOMO throughout the Ashes of Creation community, presumably influencing many people to rush to drop $250 to get access to Alpha 2, as it may in fact have been the last time that they were able to have a chance outside of giveaways held by Intrepid.
No, Mag, you haven't missed much. We just got started.
The delisting of these packs was because, as they drew closer to the Alpha 2 and Beta testing periods, they wanted to ensure a glorious experience for what our players who have signed up to help make Ashes of Creation the MMORPG it deserves to be. To that
And again, this is like what I was discussing the last time I was on stream. It's a damned if you do, damned if you don't kind of thing. So it's, people were so upset, like whenever the pre-order packs ended, and then people were coming into the community and finding out, oh wait, what? I can't, where do I buy Alpha 2 access? You know? And then there were some people that were like, oh rats, I missed it. And there were some people that were upset at the fact that they couldn't buy into it. And again, I was always in the mindset of like, look, I don't know how much more we could have done to let the community know, hey, if you're truly serious, like now is the time to get it. But I was actually quite shocked at the fact that Steven and Margaret are going to reopen the packs, but not in the sense of pre-order packs, but just really the key. Like you can actually buy access to Alpha 2 only, and that's it. And I think there was a segment from what I saw on Reddit and from what I saw on the forums and from what I saw on Discord. There are people that are completely fine with it, and there were other people completely upset about it. Completely upset about it. Because there were some people that didn't even like the last pack, which I thought the last pack looked freaking phenomenal, personally. But there were some people that didn't like the last pack, and so they felt like, wow, if I just waited, I could have saved myself like $100 and something and just bought myself the key because I didn't need all that other stuff. I just wanted Alpha 2 access. And so again, like it's always creating something for people to be upset about, like all the freaking time. And again, you know, at the time, maybe they were thinking, okay, well, let's remove pre-order packs or whatever. But it's, you know, I don't know, dude. It's like, again, like you can't please everybody. And I think this is going to be the case too with a lot of what's going on or what's going to happen with Alpha 2, because there's going to be a lot of features that people are going to like, and there's going to be a lot of features, those same features, that people aren't going to like. And I think feedback is going to be a very interesting dynamic in the forums. 100%. 90% of the people are going to rage on Alpha 2. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I don't know about 90%, but I do think there's going to be a large segment of people that are going to be pretty peeved. You know, pretty peeved. We are going to get more testers that are probably going to bail after a week. I'm worried for launch, and yay, more testers to mesh. So I think there's going to be a pretty good segment of players. So let's do some realistic numbers. If we have 200,000 people that purchased Alpha 2, like let's say from just the pre-order packs, and let's say whenever the pre-order packs come in, we get an additional like 10,000 people, or maybe like at the highest end, maybe 50,000 people, which I think that's kind of pushing it personally. But who knows? Maybe because it's cheaper, maybe more people end up buying it. I don't know. But let's just give a nice round number of 250,000 people. I think by the end of December, we'll probably have less than 5,000, maybe less than 10,000 people still testing the game. And that's, of course, that's par for the course, because I'm sure the first major update, you'll have a huge uptick of people. But what also is going to be interesting is that we're not going to be able to track any of this stuff. I can't go to steamcharts.com and look up Ashes of Creation and see like what the drop off is, what the bar graph looks like. None of us are going to have access to that. The only way that we'll know anything is that Intrepid gives us anything. That's it. So I think that's going to be the other thing about it too, is that there's going to be a huge segment of players that are going to be always curious of how many people are still testing and what the percentage drop off is. But again, it doesn't even matter. Like it to me, as long as people are testing the game and we have people like quality testers testing, like I think we'll be fine. And let's just be honest here, 10,000 plus players that are quality testers that are testing like every single aspect of the game, You can do a lot with that data, like a lot. So let me see. It's just won't match my characters most likely. I just feel like there's a certain amount of people that are so selfish that no matter what they do, they will complain. Oh yeah. 100%. Like I said, no one will ever truly be happy. I don't understand why they don't launch with the testers they have, then sell more keys. I don't understand why they don't launch with the testers they have, then sell more keys. Like, you want them to launch the game or launch Alpha 2? I'm curious what you mean, Crackles. Let me see. Yeah, the new price tag may bring in some that aren't the testing kind. Not that anyone who bought in previously were all going to be good testers. A lot still bought the pack just to play. Well, yeah. And again, I think there's a lot of data that Intrepid could glean from people not putting anything on the forums at all and not putting any kind of like bug reports in the game. There's just a lot of numerical data they can glean from just people being in areas, a lot of back-end stuff that they can pull data from. So it does help. Like, it truly does help for people just to be logged into the game. Does it help as much as like actually submitting bug reports and actually submitting feedback on the forums? I mean, yeah, that definitely helps way more. But for just being logged in, that data still helps. So I do agree with that. The way I see it, many of the people who kickstarted bought Alpha 2 packs do not use them. They are just included in the package. Also, there has been many things happen over several years that would reduce the Alpha 2 testers, such as COVID or other deaths. I think selling the Alpha 2 access is a must. I'm in support of it personally. Like, I am not one of those people that is like trying to like be upset at Intrepid for reopening like just the keys to purchase. Like, I think the more testers we can have, the better. And personally, like, I don't know if they're going to keep the keys open. Like, once they open key access, are they just going to keep that open permanently? Or is it going to like come up like every once in a while and create that I guess you can call it FOMO, right? The fear of missing out. And then be like, oh, we're only going to have the keys for like the month of September or the month of, October. And then after that, they're going to go away, but they'll come back like, every major patch or something like that. Like, I don't know. They could do a whole bunch of shit. I personally don't know. Let me see. Launch Alpha 2 for the people that already bought in, handle them, then sell more keys. I mean, they could do that. I just think just doing it all at once too isn't a big deal either. Like, my whole thing is I don't feel betrayed. This is just me personally. I don't feel betrayed by Intrepid because I bought my pack in 2021 and someone just are about to buy their pack, let's say in September, and we both get it at the same time. Like, I don't care. Like, it's not going to make me upset because I bought mine first and we get it at the same time. I don't feel any kind of ownership or any kind of like, it should be me before them. Like, I just don't care. As long as we both get to play, that's all that matters. I purchased my pack in 2021 because I support this game. I support their vision. And I think anybody buying a key is doing that as well. Because if you truly didn't want to play this game, you can just wait until the live launch and then just pay $15 a month. But if they're willing to pay more to play a game and in turn also support Intrepid, I think that's totally fine. I just think it's a disingenuous marketing move. I understand like what you mean when you say that. I do. To me, I feel like without knowing the specifics, which again, we'll never know, there could be certain specifics that made them think that we're going to shut down packs. Like, this is why they did it back in January. And then maybe they're like, oh, well, maybe if we reform or redo our model, maybe we can do it like this, but I don't know. Like, I truly, truly don't know. And yeah, we don't even know the price yet. And again, like I said this before, I'm going to be consistent on it. I think $50 to $70 is just fine. $50 to $70 for just Alpha 2 key access is, in my opinion, a fine price. Let me see. You just may be right. I just asked in the Discord and they said 30 to 35. Wait, what? Oh no. They said that level. Well, Steven said that like this was like a while back though. He said that we were going to get up to level 35. So and at the start of Alpha 2 or whatever, that's kind of like what they were thinking. But we don't even know if augments are going to be in at level 25. Like we really don't know. Let me see. I think they lied about how many packs they sold. You mean about the 100,000? Like you think they lied that there was 100,000 sold in March of last year? There's definitely a marketing strategy aspect to it. Who knows about their internal making decision though? Yeah, we don't know. Again, I'm just not upset at it. You have to, guys, like in my opinion, like this is just what I know. Wildstar to me showed me how far a company can still go and still shut down. For all of us that are in this community of Intrepid and Ashes of Creation, I don't want to put, all this effort and energy into a company that's inevitably going to shut down in less than 5 years, because that's literally what happened to Wildstar. They got, what was it, in 2014 they launched, in 2018 they shut down. And it takes a lot of money to sustain an MMORPG. And Wildstar in some ways was a niche MMO, but definitely not as niche as Ashes of Creation is going to be. Definitely not as niche. So in my opinion, look, if I'm not saying that I'm going to promote like mischievous, money practices or whatever, but honestly, I don't think it was disingenuous. Like, I don't. Like, I think again, I don't know what they were thinking as far as before they decided to end their packs in January. If they would have kept them open and then just said, hey guys, we're still going to keep them open, but we're going to remove all cosmetics, but you can still buy like time and this and that or whatever. And that's fine, Crackles. Like, again, I'm not trying to argue with you. I'm not trying for you to believe what I believe. I'm just relaying to you how I feel about what you're saying. To me, I just feel like, we're all going to play. We're all going to get in there. But I just don't want inevitably for Intrepid not to make enough money. And then we get the news, well, Ashes of Creation is going to shut down, right? Like, that's the worst possible news, like, ever. You see, Carbine Studios was shut down by NCSoft, was a subsidiary. No, of course. But the reason why they shut them down is because Wildstar wasn't making money. Like, that's ultimately the reason. They wouldn't have shut Wildstar down if Wildstar was this mega success for them. So it's, it's just a lot. Let me see. On this note, I may be a bit PO'd if they re-offer the life. No, Steven will never offer the lifetime sub. Like, he'll never. I mean, I'm not gonna say he'll never do that, but I would be as pissed off as Crackles is. I would be just as pissed off if they did that. 100%. I think a lot of people would be completely pissed if they did that. Yeah, they won't offer that again. I completely agree with that. Let's keep watching.
And we've decided to discontinue the packs until such a time as our internal and or external testing supports the admission of additional testers. We will continue to update our community when more ways become available to access Alpha 2 or beta testing through our communication channels. Basically, Intrepid has the player numbers they desire or thinks their servers can hold, and last we knew that number was well over 100,000 Alpha 2 participants. Most people, including myself, understood that Alpha 2 keys could make their way back eventually, and probably would, but I don't think many of us was expecting it to happen before Alpha 2 launched. But here we are, days after Intrepid has revealed their plans for server meshing, which includes splitting up the world into various servers, along with implementing dynamic servers, which is additional servers spinning online or offline when needed to support greater loads. And with that, Intrepid has announced.
See, by the way, have you heard Pantheon is going early access in December? Looks like they're strapped for cash. I have not heard, but if that is the case, from the last time I saw Pantheon, it looked rough. I don't follow intimately their project. I am too coped and too much in the Ashes space to like follow any other. I can't imagine following Star Citizen, Pantheon, and Ashes of Creation at the same time. Like, oh my God, I would lose my brain. But again, this is the last time I saw Pantheon. I mean, it looked rough. It looked really rough. So, I mean, it doesn't surprise me. And I mean, if PAX Day can go early access, yeah, so can Pantheon too. Everything, let's just have everything go early access, right? There are no repercussions or consequences. Let's just have everything go early access. Now the dopamine crashes are already enough with just Ashes. Yeah, I know. Seriously.
Alpha 2 key sales will be returning, and the details are to be revealed down the road. Which is exactly what they said they'd do, right? I mean, they've built this amazing...
Oh, I'm sorry, Fupo. NCSoft made them transition to a free-to-play model, and that was not handled well. Ended up costing too much, as well as not supported well. Yeah, it did not make money for reasons of mismanagement. Silly NCSoft. Well, that's what I mean, right? Like, they tried multiple ways to make more money. And again, people like to think, oh, free-to-play games don't make as much as like $15 a month games. A lot of them actually make up more. You know, but again, you have to have an audience. You have to have people willing to buy into certain things every once in a while, because now that they feel like they're getting something for free, they don't feel as bad for buying something for $10 here, $10 there. And then like in a month, they're spending like $35 when they just would have paid $15 like anywhere else. So yeah, it's all microtransactions. And again, their community was very small. It became a very niche community. There wasn't a lot of people. There wasn't like millions of people playing WildStar. You know, it was literally tens of thousands. So
amazing server technology called IntrepidNet that could revolutionize the MMORPG genre. Dynamic meshing isn't quite online yet, but it is expected to be in the next 3 months, so it could be a perfect time to bring these Alpha 2 keys back. At least you would think. But Intrepid has no idea if this tech they are creating is even going to work properly with the larger Alpha 2.
See, look, there's Nathan. Why aren't you casting the mana thing? Nathan, you're doing it wrong. You should constantly be casting for mana. Constantly. You see that already has Jasper's beat. Well, yeah, I mean, look, every project has their own thing. And the thing is that with Pantheon, specifically Pantheon, they do not have a huge development team. It is not huge by any means. I think it's still like less than 20 people like developing for Pantheon. So you gotta take it into that perspective, right? You can't just think, oh, wow, let's just laugh at him or whatever. Like what they've managed to do so far is actually quite impressive. To be honest with you, I think where Quinfall is quite impressive, because I thought that game was a complete and utter scam. And it turns out that they actually have something. It ain't, and believe me, it's more than what you could say about the day before. The day before had so much freaking hype about that game. And of course, that was utterly a scam. And to be quite frank, I thought Quinfall was a scam. But it turns out there's actually something to it. It's not what I like. I've seen gameplay on it. It doesn't look like something I would want. But at least it's not a scam, you know? So at least that has that going for them.
Two numbers. 100,000 plus players is much greater than the 200 or so Phoenix Initiative testers they have in there now. And Alpha 1 invites, while going out to limited testers in the next few weeks, haven't exactly started going out yet. So why would Intrepid not wait until after they bring in Alpha 1 testers and get Alpha 2 going to a point where these servers are stable before they made an announcement that key sales are returning? To me, it seems like they jumped the gun with this announcement a bit, because anything could happen in the next 3 months that could potentially push Alpha 2 back, or put it in a place where maybe they aren't quite ready for more players. Game development happens, servers are always an issue in MMORPGs, so I would expect them to hold off and wait until they make sure everything is working properly. But in Intrepid's defense, they have not stated when Alpha 2 key sales will be available again, or what the price of the keys will be, and this is something that very much could happen after Alpha 2 launches. They have not said. But why not wait until we get to the point where we are 100% sure they can bring in those players before making that announcement? Speaking of pricing, this is another path that I believe Intrepid will need to tread very carefully on to not upset a lot of their player base. We know that it will just be a key, no cosmetics attached, and if there are cosmetics, it'll be a static pack. There won't be rotational, there's no FOMO attached to it or anything like that. But what is a fair price for a single key that isn't going to upset the community? How many players rushed out to drop $250 because they
I think 50 to 70 bucks is just fine. Again, you have to take into account of like the average pre-order pack. Let me do this real quick. Just bringing up just a random pack. So basically you get I believe this is like the Intrepid bucks or whatever. You get alpha and beta access. You get like, and this is if you buy the entire the entire thing, right? So usually cosmetics like this are usually for like 20, sometimes even $25 in a game. Mounts are anywhere between $20 to $25. Hell, there's some mounts that are even $30. But this, of course, like I think this is the mount, this is a pet, this is the caravan, this is a freehold skin, this is an individual cosmetic. Like all of this, like by itself, is like in the hundreds, like already. And then you're also included, I think, 9 months of game time, which how much is that alone? 9 months. So you have 9 months times 15. So 15 times 9, that's already $135. So just in the cosmetics and the time, not to mention the Alpha 2 and Beta 1 and Beta 2, like that's a lot. Like you're getting literally like a lot for this. So again, I don't mind if it's like $50 or like they can do $70, but I mean, again, I think a fair price would be 50. Like if I was Steven and I was in the driver's seat, I would say $50 personally. And people may be upset at that number, but I think it's a fair price. So we see some don't care about the cosmetics. No, exactly. I know there was a lot of the people that I know in my guild and just friends that I've gotten to know in Discord. A lot of the people that bought the pre-order pack, like, man, I should have waited. I was like, I hate my pre-order pack. I hate those cosmetics or whatever. But I mean, they just bought it because again, they wanted to support Intrepid and they wanted to play Alpha 2. Like that's the main reason. Everything else was just bonus. Like it was just gravy, or it was just something that's probably just going to sit in their inventory and never use. So, you know, whatever. But yeah, there's a lot that comes with these packs, just to be clear.
Believe that Alpha 2 keys would not be coming back until we were much later into the testing.
Trying to
Yes,
close
they
the
get
calculator.
things such as game time and skins and Ember to use come launch, but me personally, I spent $500 way back then to gain access to Alpha 1 and Alpha 2.
Oh, I was going to say, because Laughable said this, I'm glad my friend can now get in. Dude, you have no idea the amount of Discord messages or just the people that I've talked to that said the exact same thing. Because there were people that, you know, were in friend groups that bought in before, but their friends were like, you know, and this was them, like years ago. And now their friends are excited, but they didn't have a way to buy Alpha 2. Now they will. So I think ultimately, like, it is going to be a good thing.
More than 4 years ago. If I could have cut that dollar amount in half and removed the cosmetics or the game time, that still won't be of any actual value to me for a solid 2 to 3 more years until this game actually comes out, I 100% would have, because I personally don't care for any of that stuff as we're headed into an alpha testing environment. I would have much rather spent $100 on the 2 keys and left the rest of that stuff out. If the keys are priced high enough where they don't take away from what everyone else put in, then I think overall it'll probably be fine. You'll still have some upset people, rightfully so, that dropped that $250 when they didn't need to, but if you break down the value of those cosmetic packs, if I remember correctly, the keys value around roughly $40 to $60. Then you have the game time, the cosmetics, the embers, and all of that extra stuff that brought it up to that $250 price tag. $40 to $60 though, compared to $250, is enough to piss off anyone who feels that they were pressured into a purchase with FOMO. I do hope though that before Intrepid makes any further announcements regarding Alpha 2 key sales, the Alpha 1 testers are fully in, and really Alpha 2 launch has happened, making sure these servers can handle these numbers, as I've said earlier. Dynamic gridding is not yet even functional for PI members. They're still in the bug squashing phase before they bring it completely online, and anything and everything could go wrong. Let PI, A1, and A2 testers get it working, and then you open up those key sales at a fair price to get in more numbers. On the other side of things though, there are tons and tons of people.
I would actually be okay with that. Like, I mean, and again, I know Crackles was saying it too. Like, if we go in and they say the launch for Alpha 2 is going to be, I don't know, let's say September 22nd. And they said also we're going to be reopening our key sales like at the end of November, or let's say at the beginning of October or something like that. That way you at least have some kind of a, you got in, you guys paid for it first or whatever, y'all did it. Again, now just to be clear, I would be fine either way. If they waited till the end of October, or if they just let everybody go in at the same time at the start of L2. Like, I personally don't care. But I wouldn't care either way. I think either way would be fine to me.
People out there who are just now discovering Ashes of Creation, or haven't even discovered it yet, or who have discovered it in the past and perhaps they just didn't have the money back in January, who now have a second chance to get in and play the game at what I assume is a cheaper cost, so they can help Intrepid test it and build Ashes of Creation into what it could be an amazing game. Everyone that I've spoken with who does not currently have access and really wants to play is extremely excited for the opportunity now, and that is also something that needs to be considered. But for all those hoping to make the purchase, know what you're buying. Ashes of Creation is meant to be a true alpha, not a complete game. There will only
Also
be
true.
a fraction of the content to start, there will be tons of bugs and unpolished features, and features just not working altogether. If you buy a key, know that this is what you will run into. You won't be jumping into a feature-complete MMORPG at Alpha 2's launch, or even coming close to it, so if this isn't what you were hoping for, well then just save your money and hold off. But in the end, the more testers in Alpha 2 the better, because it gives them the potential for more feedback, more bug squashing, more server breaking, and ultimately a better launch for Ashes of Creation when the game finally releases. Having a massive amount of players to give their feedback on systems and archetypes and all of that good stuff is truly...
Well, and I think if they were to stagger, that's actually a really good point, is if you were to keep, let's say the hype, right? We usually for hype, it's like 30 days, right? So you have September 22nd. So by the time October 22nd rolls around, like it's already kind of old hat to the people that have been playing. But if you then like unleash ticket sales, or like key sales, I should say, at the end of October, then you get a whole new crop of people that are energized and revitalized to wanting to get in there and test. So you give a break to the people that just finished testing for a month to then allow a new crop of people that are now going to go in there and then test some more, right? So I think that's actually like potentially like a really, really good thing. So that way, inevitably, no one burns out all at the same time, right? At least you can kind of stagger it a bit.
Really what will make Ashes of Creation stand apart from the rest of the genre and become that next big MMO that we're all waiting for, bringing in a refreshed look at a struggling genre.
Richie knows. Yep. I mean, he's totally right. I mean, the thing is that this genre is so hard to literally break into. Like, it just is. If you guys want to, if you have watched the video, give it a watch, and then of course give it a like, subscribe to Richie if you're not. Let me see. I can't imagine Intrepid keeping key sales closed during the initial Alpha 2 hype. They'd sell way less. Would they sell way less? Potentially. They could give like people to buy access, right? Like at the hype, like at like towards like the, let's say 2 weeks before the Alpha 2 launch. However, the people that buy those keys won't go in at the start, but they'll go in later. They could do that again. And it's like, I don't understand why they would do that though. You know what I mean? Like, why would they do that is what I don't understand. So it's kind of hard. Like I kind of don't have an opinion. I just feel we're going to see a whole lot of drama related to this particular, towards this particular topic. 100%. There's just a lot of people that, again, want to complain and, you know, basically just bitch about Ashes of Creation. I have no idea and no reason why. It is what it is. You know what I mean? There's just, this game is going to garner so much attention. It's not even going to be funny. Like how much attention like that's going to happen from this game. So I don't know, man. Like, it's just one of those things that I think people just have to chill out a little bit, see what happens, and then let's go from there. Right. but I can already tell you that's not gonna happen. Like it's not gonna happen. People like to make drama for the thinnest drip they can take. Well, of course. I mean, of course, drama as long as they have talking about your mom. Oh man. I mean, you're not wrong. I mean, I think it's just one of those times where people are so desperate right now. Like, I can still hear it in people's voices. People are so desperate to play an MMORPG. They just are. Like, people, I mean, dude, like, I see people playing Quinfall. I see people playing, like, the people that, honestly, that bought the day before, it still baffles me. Like, why did you do that? Why did you purchase that game? Like, again, it's because of the belief. You know, people have this belief that maybe this thing is the thing that's going to satiate me, right? That's going to, you know, give me that feeling of like, you know, excitement again, you know, and it doesn't happen. You know what I mean? And so I feel like with Ashes, and what I think what's also going to be kind of sad too, is that there actually might be people that play Ashes of Creation that's been a part of this community for a long time and realize, oh man, this game doesn't play the way I want it to play. This game doesn't do the things I want it to do. You know, that might happen too. You know, I would be playing Quinfall still if it didn't boot me and refuse to let me back or to log in. Dude, queues and MMOs are always horrendous, especially in live service games. This is why I'm actually really excited for this dynamic server meshing and just server meshing in general, because I really feel like that technology can really alleviate queue times. I really do. It's not going to eliminate them completely, but I will feel you will have less of a queue time than not, personally. And man, if they only added more starting zones, I feel like that's such a mistake too. I really would love Intrepid to put in more starting zones. I know they probably can't at this point, but God, it'd be really amazing. Or even if, like, I don't know, could they do that? Like, could they have certain starting zones that still start in the similar area, but not the specific area? So like you can basically dynamic mesh it in a sense, right? So like if you were to take a grid, right? And it's, okay. So if you were to take like, you know, the grids, right? So we have like a grid here, here, here. God, this is so beautiful. I love it. Here, here, and here, right? So usually, right, in most MMORPGs, you have areas for starting zones where all, like, basically, like, let's look at it for World of Warcraft, right? You spawn in Durotar as an orc. Every single orc spawns right there. They're all right there. Like, the whole lot of them just spawn in the same exact spot. Is this AutoCAD 1.0? No, this is Microsoft Paint. This is what we're doing. So basically what I'm thinking is, right, so this little dot, or it's not a dot, well, whatever, right? So basically this dot here is where everybody spawns into. And because this is like the part of the starting zone for, let's say, the Kalar or like the Vec or the Dwarves or whatever, right? But what if they could spawn around, right? Or even in certain clusters. So we know that dynamic server meshing is going to be able to do this, right? So like, what if they all don't just spawn in one area, but they can spawn in multiple areas, like here, 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 right? So that way it dynamically could mesh them, right, as people are logging in, and it actually doesn't just poo on the server, basically, right? So like that's kind of like what I think would be a really good scenario for starting zones. Because again, in most starting zones, it's all very static, and this is just again, this is the spawn point wherever when a person logs in, this is where they go. Let me see. Osiris, dude, thank you so much for hanging out with us, man. Thank you so much. Have a good dinner, dude. And so, and hell, even if they could also do it to where they could break apart and go like even over here, right? Like how far can they go from the origin of it? Because again, what you're trying to do is you can still, like when you log in, you can just have like a quest like automatically pop up. You don't have to like talk to anybody to accept this quest. It just, as soon as you log into the world of Vera, a quest pops up and it tells you to go talk to somebody, right? To start your adventure. Right? And so you could have that person also in a static zone, or you could have multiple people to talk to start your quest, right? So that way you don't have, again, just one static quest person that everybody needs to go speak to. You can have multiple starting quest persons that people can go speak to. Like you can have like officers, or if it's military based or whatever, right? Or if it's like a priest or whatever the case is, right? You can do it in multiple different ways. So that to me would also definitely alleviate the starting experience, and also better queue for queue times, right? Because then oh, well, we can pump in like, like 500 people here, 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 right? So it just like it, and that's at one starting zone, right? So right now I think there's 6 starting zones. Right, so we got the four races plus the Tolnar, so that's 5. Sorry, so we got 5 starting zones. So yeah, and again, so it's 5 starting zones. That's the potential to actually alleviate quite a lot when it comes to dynamic server machines and starting zones for people logging into the game. Because that was, I think, the biggest thing that I was afraid of was the queue boss. The queue boss and starting zones basically failing, because that's going to have the most direct cluster of people all trying to do shit at the same time. So the more you can dynamically mesh that out and alleviate it out, like think of it like where in New World, where it kind of just spawned you randomly wherever. Well, here it's not a random spawn per se. Like it's still like predicated on a particular location, but that location is predicated off of the dynamic mesh, right? That can support like a good amount of people, right? That's what I think they should do personally. Can't believe it's been an hour. You've been streaming. Talk about Ashes. Makes the time fly by. Of course it does, dude. It always does. It always does. Golem asks, what taters Precious say? Potatoes. Oh my God. Jesus. But yeah, that's always been the thing that I've always been kind of worried about. Okay. So now that I talked about that and I gave you my lovely presentation in Microsoft Paint. So there's been some other things that I wanted to talk about. And that's as far as like the feature set for Alpha 2. Because of course we know nodes are only going to have scientific, right? We also know that there's going to be every class available but the rogue and the summoner. Now, I'm really curious as to what you guys think about like what, let me just ask in chat, what system do you want to have at the start of Alpha 2? Like, what are you wanting to be present at the start? And then also, what are you hoping could actually be at the start? So, like for me, so let me just type this out. So we got mentioned the classes, mentioned nodes. There's the, well, I should probably, as you can tell, I'm a really excellent speller. Let me see, classes, nodes, areas. Caravan system, professions, hopefully all 21. Let me see. Story chapters. Want them to be limited though. Commissions. Yes, areas or biomes. Is that how you spell biomes? I spelled it like that. It didn't look right to me. I guess whatever. Let me see. POIs. Let me see. By the way, Vlad, I missed the news. You got the last stream. How was it? Getting sponsored by Dirt or Air, just like Rive. So honestly, like I was thinking about. I should have probably did it in my video, but I just didn't find the right area to do it in. But I'm not going to have a sponsor per se. But I'm going to have. You'll just have to see it. Like when I do it, y'all will understand. What the heck? What the heck? Dungeons is also a good one. World bosses. Naval? Nah, Naval won't be at the start of Alpha 1. 24. So we got 6 classes. So nodes. Just scientific. Biomes. Probably 4 to 5 biomes potentially. Professions. I hope all 21 professions. At least up to level 20. Like I'd be fine with that personally. Story chapters, limited in story though. Commissions, of course, the commission board. Dungeons, I think was fine. World bosses. World bosses are probably going to be like the dragons. Tumok. And others, maybe. We'll see. Battle pets? Oh man, I don't know. So to me, okay, let's let me see. Things I want at start of Alpha 2. Updates to Alpha 2. So I think it's the updates for Alpha 2, right? So let's just do this. Definitely going to be. Oh. Rogue and Summoner. Naval. Other node types. I think constellations are not going to be at the start of Alpha 2. Constellations. Battle pets I can actually see not being at the start either. Underrealm. Tolnar for sure. I don't think Tolnar is going to be there at the start of Alpha 2 either. Animal husbandry I think will be in Alpha 2 at the start. I do. Let me see. Alpha 2 will not launch with battle pets. Yeah, I don't think they will. What about corruption mechanics? Yeah, corruption, corruption system will definitely be in the start of Alpha 2. Let me see, would think they would have a lot of gatherables in. Yeah, monster coin, definitely not. I would say monster coin system is a future thing. Definitely not at the start. I would say world events probably be at the start. Like limited though, of course. Ooh, do we think seasons are going to be at the start of Alpha 2? Or do you think seasons is going to be a future update? So it will basically be like in a permanent, like in a permanent season kind of thing. But I would definitely say night and day for sure. Night and day will be at the start of Alpha 2. Seasons, I don't know if all the seasons are going to be present though. I'm gonna put that as an update to Alpha 2 personally. Seasons. Why wouldn't it be finished already? I don't think Tolnar will be in the game until actual launch. I remember Steven saying something about that a long time ago. I think Tolnar will be there, just not at the start. I think maybe just a couple of updates. We'll have to wait and see. Seasons is a core feature, I thought. It is a core feature. I just think... Let me really think about it. Will all 4 seasons be changing and be going? Okay. Y'all convince me. I still think I could actually see only like... I'll make a caveat and I think limited. Like I think let's say like summer and autumn might be available, but they're still working on winter and spring, Like I think, there probably will be like 2 seasons at the start kind of thing, but we'll see. Like I don't know. I could be totally freaking wrong. They already showed seasons like a year ago. No, right. And like I said, I might be totally wrong, but I was just thinking that, again, there's just a lot on the plate for Intrepid. Let me see. I think Constellations might come with Naval, to be honest. Yeah, I think Naval is probably going to come, not even the first major patch. I would say either than the second or even third. Like, I think, realistically, I don't think we'll get Naval until the middle of next year. Like, that's my opinion, personally. Oh, yeah, freeholds. That's definitely not going to be at the start. I think housing in general is not going to be at the start either. Lightning. Getting rid of the soup spell effects. Excuse me. I think all of the UI stuff, like I think UI updates in general is going to come later. That's definitely a UI thing. Might be right about housing coming later. Yeah. Seasons may be like constellations. They exist, but they may not be hooked up to the other systems. Well, that's what I mean. Like whenever you have as many systems as Ashes of Creation does, like it's literally a lot, right? Because again, you go to the dungeons are going to be limited, right? We're only going to maybe go into like, hopefully like a couple of dungeons. Like I'm hoping at least maybe 8 to 10. But we don't know. Like if we're only in 5 biomes, there could only maybe be 5 dungeons. I don't know. Maybe there's 1 dungeon per area. Maybe there's some biomes that have 2 dungeons per biome. Like I don't. It just really, really, really depends. I believe though the complete caravan system will be online, working, everything like that. The professions I think are all going to be working. Nodes, mayor, I think a lot of the node stuff, in my opinion, should be operational. Like, I think being the elections of mayors, and I think for everything that the scientific node has to offer, it should be operational. Like, all of the stuff that's in the scientific node should be operational, building types and everything, etc. Let me see. Do you think dungeons will change in Alpha 2? Change in what way? Interactive change. Interactive. Oh, religion. Yeah, I honestly feel like religion is not going to be at the start. I think that's going to come later. Yeah, and social orgs as well. I think dungeons aren't going to change too much. Like, as far as design goes, I think there could be some AI changes, right? There could be some tuning and stuff like that from certain bosses and stuff like that. I don't think anything's going to change as or overall design. I don't think they're going to add like new wings or, you know, more entrances or exits kind of thing. Like, I think that stuff is going to be the way it is. Now, we could say, oh man, it would be nice to have this dungeon to have more openings to enter into or more exits to exit from. But ultimately, like, that's kind of hard coded into their area, right? Like, you can only do so much. Oh, augments. No, we haven't even mentioned augments. Augments. I still, as much as I know we're going to level from either like max to level 30 or even 35, I still feel like augments aren't going to be at the start of Alpha 2. So we'll have like the talent tree, the weapon. We'll have like the character ability tree, the weapon tree. I don't know if we're going to have like the general tree with like the shield. Like they mentioned, like, oh, you're going to have like options for like utility and like shield stuff. Like, I don't think that's going to be probably at the start, but that probably will come in later. Are you including the castles in the nodes? Oh, I don't know if in the biomes that we are going to get is going to have a castle in it. If there are, then I would say castles are definitely not going to be like a thing. Like, as far as at the start of Alpha 2, I think sieges of any kind is going to be off the table. So, like, and that includes, of course, castle and node sieges. Like, I think sieges are not going to be implemented yet. I think if they, and what I mean by implemented, I'm thinking the way sieges are supposed to be declared, right? They always talk about the scroll that you're supposed to go ahead and find or whatever. I think if there are going to do like a siege test, it's going to be just like, hey, we're going to just instance you, or just going to do it like, you know, you're not going to get the scroll and all that other stuff. Like, I'm talking like the complete gameplay of like declaring the siege and stuff like that and waiting the 5 days. And I don't think we're going to do that at the start of Alpha 2 personally. Now, I hope we do eventually. I just don't think it's going to be the start of Alpha 2. I believe Node Wars and Guild Wars, I'm hoping, like, this is what I hope, is going to be at the start of Alpha 2. Housing customization system, I haven't seen anything for that. Yeah, housing in general, I think it's going to come later. So anything associated with housing, it ain't going to be at the start of Alpha 2. Let me see. Yeah, I'm sure they want to test with the Node Wars and Guild Wars first before anyone starts tearing down nodes. Yeah, 100%. I think the Sieges stuff is going to be later, and then they want to test all the war system, right? Mules, I would say Mules is going to be at the start, because that's going to be attached to like caravans and stuff like that. Like, of course, mounts and all that are going to be there, right? So you're going to have like that'll be there too if you want to just count that in. Let me see. I don't even think we'll get a freehold, maybe static only. Yeah, I honestly feel like if we do have any sort of housing option, it's going to be the in-node housing. But I think even that could technically be disabled, right? Because again, you need the customization that goes with like putting stuff in that house and stuff, and that may be offline. So they may just put the anything node related, or I'm sorry, housing related, it may just be offline. Like the building will be there, or there'll be a house there, but no one can buy it because the systems associated with it aren't finished yet. That can definitely be a thing. Nathan, dude, what's going on, man? Good to see you, buddy. Stock exchange. Oh my god, stock exchange is definitely coming later. Definitely coming later. Let me see. I think we'll be getting just the base bone structure for many things. Let me see in story. Yeah, story. I put the story chapters because I think we're gonna get that, but I think it's gonna be limited. So, that's definitely gonna come in there. Oh god, the plant is here. What do you mean the plant? What are you talking about? Bounty hunters. That's a good one. I don't think bounty hunters are going to be there at the start. You know why? Because you need a military node. That's where bounty hunters come from military nodes. So I would say bounty hunters definitely going to be an update. Let me see. Races. Oh, God. Are all races but Tolnar going to be available? Races. All but... I have a feeling that we will probably have access to all the races, but I think some genders will not be available. Like you can be like the male pirate, but there's no female pirate. Like I have a feeling that some of the races, like I feel like a lot of them are going to be present, but a lot of them aren't going to be, like you won't be able to try out like the, the male and female options. Like I think some of them are going to be like gender locked, so to speak. Of course, there will be male and females to everything. But I think at the start of Alpha 2, I don't know. Like, I hope I'm wrong. Like, it would be really nice if all races and genders were available, but the Tolnar at the start of Alpha 2. I think that'd be really, really, really good. Have we seen Nakua in game? No, we have not. Hell, we haven't even seen a dwarf in game since the recent update. It's kind of sad. Let me see. What do you think about UI customization? Do you think it's do you think it's be only static or limited? UI customization, I think, is going to be very limited at the start of Alpha 2. So I think there's going to be a lot of stuff that they're going to do along the UI front, but I think the bulk of what everybody will be like wanting might come later. But again, that's why you leave feedback, because they want to know specifically what UI components you are interested in. So they can either be like, okay, we're on the docket, we're working on that UI thing, or someone mentions something that they want, and they're like, oh, wow, we haven't even thought about that. Or, it's not even something we can even consider. Do you know what I mean? So definitely that's going to be like a feedback thing. But I think if we were to we can just put like basic UI, I'll put that as like, but I think the more customizable stuff is going to be later. Auction houses. I feel like auction houses will be available at the start of Alpha 2. How will they though? Economic nodes are not going to be there. Arenas may not be there because that's military. Player corruption probably will be there. Parlor games definitely won't be there. Yeah, I don't think auction houses will be there either. I think auction houses might come later. Auction houses, parlor games. The player market actually too is not going to come. Yeah, arena. It's a lot of PvP. I think honestly, if I were to advocate to Steven, I mean, I actually want them all. I don't know what would be more if you had to choose, right? So right now we're getting scientific. If you guys had to choose what node type comes next, what would you choose? Oh yeah, Metro. So we're only going to get nodes. I'll put it here. Uh, level 0 through 3. I think we're only going to get to level 3. Dye system cosmetics. Yeah, that's going to be later. No brothels or opium dens. How about the dye system cosmetics? Economic for sure. Military for the bounty system. Military, academic. Just to 3. That's fine though. Economic node. So I'm seeing a little bit of military, a little bit of economic. Now, me personally, like I if I had to choose, I would say economic, because the economy for Ashes is so freaking important. Like it just is. Like, so what is it? The economic, military, and what is the religion? I'll just put religion. Um, see, bounty system tied to military node. Yes, it is. That is a military node thing. Is from the bounty hunter system. Economic, it's rigged. You'll never be able to overhit richer than others because of node resets. I mean, potentially for Alpha 2, I think the economy is going to be really crazy as far as the testing goes. But I don't know. We'll see. Divine nodes. That's what it is. I was trying to think of the freaking name. Divine nodes. Let me see. Scientific would be cool at higher levels, but for the fast travel, I don't think the system is ready. Or academic nodes a thing. So academic nodes is another. They used to call academic scientific. So scientific and academic were like interchangeable with one another. So that's what we're getting currently is the scientific node. So yeah, there's been people that have used it interchangeably. Like they'll say, "Oh, the academic node," and they're referring to the scientific node. Let me see. Economic allows tests for player stalls, etc. Well, the reason why I'm advocating for economic nodes is because, again, the economy is so radically important to this game, and also getting auction houses and all of that tech, and especially the regional auction houses, working, functioning, making sure like we can test dupes, we can test like just a whole bunch of stuff. Like it's so radically important to do. You know what I mean? Hydrate myself. Thank you, good sir. Yeah, my voice was getting hoarse. And then I would change my answer to economic as the second node release. Yeah, scientific node was the first. Yeah. Again, I think the economic node, because again, not saying that PvP is not important, because it is definitely important to the overall structure of Ashes. But if you had to tell me what's more important, it's the economy. Economy is more important than PvP. Like 100%. Like the game doesn't survive with a failing economy. Like it just doesn't. So that definitely takes precedent in my head. Yeah, we need to test those things ASAP. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, but I want the dankest high level crafting loot from scientific nodes. Well, a lot of people do, man. That's what I'm saying. Like that's why I'm hoping Corey and his team. The reason why Corey hasn't been in my chat lately is because he is so hard at work to give us all the 21 professions at the start of Alpha 2. That's what I am hoping for. Because it'd be so freaking nice. It would be so freaking nice to be able to actually get all of the 20. Now, here, let me do this real quick. I'm going to bring up the professions list, and we're going to go by them one by one, and we're going to check to see which ones people think should be finished and which like maybe aren't going to be finished. All right. All right. Can you guys see that? So, fishing, herbalism, hunting, lumberjacking, mining. So I think lumberjacking for sure, mining for sure, herbalism for sure, hunting. Oh, here, let me do this. All right. Hunting and fishing. Fishing, we haven't even seen fishing, to be honest with you. Since I've been watching all old footage, doing everything about this game, I have yet to see a fishing pole pop out of anybody's inventory and start fishing. So I'm going to say fishing is probably not going to be. Hunting may not be at the start of Alpha 2. And again, I hope all of these are, but I'm thinking in my head, like, what's logically. Fishing was in Alpha 1? Was it? All right. Oh my God. Okay. Let me do this because I know how to use paint so well. So we'll say fishing, hunting, probably not. Okay. Now let's get into the more of the spicy territory. Okay. Alchemy, animal husbandry, cooking, farming, lumber milling, metalworking, stonemasonry, tanning, and weaving. Ooh. So these are a lot of the processing ones. Now, you have to understand the freehold system won't be in place. However, you can still process things at a level, what was it, like a level 3 node, but they're not going to be like as fully like adept as, you know, some of the stuff you're going to get at a freehold. But if I had to say at the start, and so mind you, I'm not asking for them to have like max level professions, right? Like level 50 professions or whatever the max level is of professions. Like I'm only hoping potentially up to like level 20, right? Like that's kind of what my marker is in my head, just to kind of give everybody like a grip a little bit. Let me see. Isn't processing basically just a timer with an NPC that does all the work for you? Seems pretty easy to implement. It's not the fact that it's easy to implement. It's the fact of all the recipes. Are they all done? Are they in the game? Can you achieve them? Can you do them? Like it's more of that to me. But there are some like potentially like lumber milling that could just be an AFK game where you just go and you don't really have to do much of anything and it just does everything for you. But there may be other processing where you actually might need to be more interactive with it. Like honestly, it just depends. And again, they did say that there was going to be some stuff that wasn't going to be like just like an AFK thing. So alchemy, I hope is there. Animal husbandry, I really don't feel like it's gonna be there at the start. Cooking, farming, I don't think will be there at the start because I think for farming you need a freehold to farm at, unless we're gonna be able to have like farming plots like other places. So I don't think farming will be there. Lumber milling, I think will be there. Metalworking, I think will be there. Stone masonry, I think that hopefully will be there. Tanning, I think I don't think it'll be. I don't think it'll be there. Weaving, I think will be there. So 3 out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's not so bad. Let me see, but farming is necessary for animal husbandry. Is it though? But isn't there going to be multiple professions that all interact with each other? Like, it's not just, oh, this one profession only interacts with animal husbandry. Like, I think there's going to be a lot of cross-pollination of the profession systems. So let me see. I hope there will be mini games to increase the quality or quantity for processing, just as an optional thing. Yeah, and again, this is where all your feedback's going to come in clutch for Intrepid, right? I would only bet have a gameplay layer as well. 1 to 2 may have a gameplay layer as well, so they can see if people like it before they add more. Exactly. This is more of like, again, this is all testing. They need to see, like, is this the direction? Because there's no sense in making some elaborate processing mini game that's like super elaborate if they don't even like it, right? It's like we worked all this time to do this for us to just literally get rid of it or to redesign it completely. Like it's, if there isn't any, you want to have leather working silly. Well, I haven't got there yet. I haven't got here. Because again, I don't think hunting is going to be there. Like if to me, I don't know if hunting is going to be another word for skinning, right? Like in my WoW brain, but I don't know. Like I haven't seen it. That's why I think it's not possibly going to be there. That's why I don't think tanning is going to be there. Leatherworking, there could be some recipes that leatherworking has where you don't technically need leather, but I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if leatherworking wasn't there. Let me see. Are you one of those that will be out on the sea a lot when naval comes out? I want to be out on the sea because I've never done it. So I want to do it just because, again, it's going to be very new to me and I want to see what it's all about. And I think also because I don't have this mindset of Arcage or Sea of Thieves. Like I've never played Sea of Thieves. I never played Arcage. So this is literally coming from a brand new player's perspective that has played MMOs before, that loves MMOs, but has never played a naval system. So I think that kind of feedback for Intrepid is going to be a little bit invaluable. Let me see. Hunting and animal husbandry go together. Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure they do. Okay, so let's go into the crafting professions. Arcane engineering. Look, I've tried Corey to talk about it. He's been very, tight-lipped about what arcane engineering really is. So I don't think that's going to be something that we're probably going to get to start. But I would definitely say that armor smithing, definitely going to be there. Carpentry, definitely going to be there. Jewel cutting, definitely going to be there. Leatherworking, I would say question mark. If I had to choose, though, it probably won't be there. But I don't know. Maybe not. Scribing, I don't think it's going to be there. Tailoring will be there. Weaponsmithing will be there. So out of all the 21 professions, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 out of 21 is not that bad. 7 potentially. Like if you want to count this one, right? Like it could be either or, right? I sure hope they go to the Sea of Thieves kind of thing for ship combat with their own twist. I am not trying to have some like bar for them to hit. I just want to see what they do, and then I'll give my feedback. Let me see. Isn't arcane engineering supposed to be how we craft magical weapons? Potentially, but we don't know. Like if I go into the wiki and look up arcane engineering, this is literally what we have. You tell me what arcane engineering is. Like I have tried. When I told Corey, I was like, dude, what the hell is arcane engineering? Is it like a mixture of like enchanting and this other, like, what is this? You know what I mean? And he just does, he says, you'll know when you know. And so, it's when you engineer the arcanes. Exactly. You have to engineer the arcane magic. And that's what arcane engineering is. So like, we don't know. That's why I literally Like I probably should have asked that like during the AMA with Steven is like, can you tell me what arcane engineering is? Because I don't think we've ever gotten an answer to that. But I actually might end up asking him that during hopefully my 1v1 with him soon. Soon. Let me see. Only thing I can think of is the orbs and spellbooks. I just want VoIP on ships. I want to talk shit while I'm it's so stupid, Wexy. Massive error leaks around arcane engineering. Oh my god. You just spoiled it right now. Now we know it's the engineering of arcane energy. Thank you, Nathan. I'll let Steven know that you spilt the beans. Let me see. That's smart. Just ask Steven questions based on the empty wiki pages. Yeah, I know, right? Oh my god. Take that, you scallywag. Oh my god. It's gonna be great though. I mean, ultimately, like I said, professions, I really do hope that all of them are there, but I mean, it might end up being limited. I mean, it might be limited, and that's fine. Like, I think commission boards, those are definitely going to be there. Dungeons, caravan system, I think the complete system of the caravan system should definitely be there. I think bag space, I'm trying to think of inventory. Like inventory, like all that stuff should also technically be there. Laughables, dude, thank you so much for the sub, dude. Thank you. Like seriously, that's awesome. Let me see. Oh no, she gonna have that mammy. You're trying to say mammy? That mammy string. Jesus, dude. Wait till Margaret finds out. Yeah. Dude, wait till she finds out what you said. And I'm gonna tell her. No, I'm just joking. Oh man. But yeah, that's kind of huge though. I mean, in a sense, like if this is what we get, right? I'm pretty fine with that. I mean, is there anything else that I am like trying? Let me just like think, because I'm trying to just think of all of like the systems in this game, and it's like I have to go over like all the things. So yeah, social works, parlor games. To see looting, yeah, the group dynamics, like all that stuff. Weapons, armor, character creator will be there, costumes, inventory, accessories, mules, the apartments. Apartments will probably be there. That'll be part of the node stuff. Mounts, inspiration. Let me see. Oh, the second archetypes? No, yeah, that's definitely going to come later. I'll put classes because that's technically what it is, right? Because you choose your primary archetype to then choose your secondary archetype, which then makes your completed class. So I think classes in general are going to come later at a future update. But yeah, thank you for pointing that out, dude. I appreciate that. Let me see. Didn't even have all of the classes yet. Yeah, I mean, there's just so much. There's so much. In terms of systems plus features, Alpha 2 is not that bad. The 14 plus missing biomes is probably where most of the work is. Oh yeah, dude. I mean, it's like I said, one biome, and then you think of all of the systems that need to be working and activated in that one biome, it's a lot. And then you extrapolate that, what is it? 18 times more? Because there's 19 biomes in general. Like that's a lot. Like, where's the map? All right, so we got 1 biome, 2 biome, 3 biome, 4 biome, 5 biome, 6 biome, 7 biome, 8 biome, 9 biome, 10 biome, 11 biome. I'm going to think this is all like 12 biome. I think this might be all one biome potentially, unless this actually goes like if this is all one biome. So it's 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Okay, so there's 18 biomes. I always thought there was 19. 18 biomes. It's a lot, dude. It's a lot. Let me see. What would be interesting is to find out how big the Underrealm is and how many entrances there are. That's what's 19. Thank you. The Underrealm. I completely forgot about the freaking Underrealm. And we don't even know how big that's going to be or how big that map is going to be. And was the Underrealm considered to be a part of that 1,200 square kilometers? I don't know. That's also another really, really good question. Let me see. 18 biomes, easy clap. Yeah. You tell that to Corey. Yeah, just 20 more professions. Easy clap. Easy to do. I can do it tomorrow. I can do it all by tomorrow. Steven said on your AMA at the beginning of Alpha 2, there will be 5 level nodes visually and with 4 level features. Okay. That's awesome if that's the case. Like, I can't wait. Like, anything nodes related, I'm excited to freaking do. That top one does look like its own, even though it's small. I mean, potentially, like I said, we really haven't gotten like the clear delineations of certain zones, right? So until we get into the game and truly see like how the map is actually like outlined, like we just won't know, right? So, I mean, because many people believe that this is its own biome right here, right? Let me move my... So, like, everyone believes that this is, like, its own biome here, right? The mountain area. But this is, like, really small. But then you think of, like, the June Dark. Like, all of this right here could potentially be the June Dark. So, but this right here is still really big. Like, it may look small at a scale level, but, again, look how big this has been in the Riverlands. Because we've just been on the eastern part of the Riverlands. We haven't even seen anything here yet. And so this in itself could actually be quite huge. Let me see. Underrealm feels like it's going to give off Zangarmarsh from WoW. I hope it gives like a more like updated Zangarmarsh, you know? So we'll have to wait and see. That's the volcano biome. Yes. So, I mean, it's just like, again, on the scale of things, like it's like, again, we don't know what's going to end up being like the biggest biome, because if you had to tell me, I don't think the Riverlands is the biggest biome. I mean, look at this. Look at this behemoth right here. The Frostcave Fells. Holy shit. That is massive. Like, to me, that is bigger than the Riverlands. Like 100% it's bigger than the Riverlands. Seeds, dude, thank you so much for the follow, dude. Thank you. And also welcome. The desert is an A2 launch. Yeah, I think the desert. So I believe what Steven said, it was going to be the tropics, right? I don't know if this is the tropics. I've always considered this to be the tropics. So I'm going to continue to say that this is the tropics. The Badlands, number 2. The Riverlands, number 3. The Sandsquall Desert, number 4. And the June Dark, number 5. That's what I think is going to be at the start of Alpha 2. Now, they could give us the volcano area too, so that would be 6. But who knows? Or we might not get the June Dark, and we might not get the volcano biome and the June Dark, right? But we might trade for the Dunskill Mountains. So it just depends. But I think we're going to get the bulk of this entire area, right? That'd be really, really, really nice. There's also been some people that think, because I've seen this on the Discord, that people think that we're only going to get the Riverlands, the Sandsquall Desert, and maybe the Badlands at the start of Alpha 2. Holy crap. Sorry, I was like getting a bunch of messages back to back to back. So yeah, like I personally don't know. I hope we actually end up having more biomes at the start, because it'd be nice to kind of like splinter outward and go and adventure and do stuff. But if there's only 3 at the start, that's fine too. Like I'll make it work either way. They showed Frostgrave Fells, right? The snowy area in December. Well, the thing is, to me, the Frostgrave Fells, I don't know if that was what they showed us in December. You have to take into consideration too that they could have showed us like a part of the Badlands in winter. Like, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, again, because there's seasons, they could have just had the winter season in a certain biome just working. You know, it didn't have to mean that, you know, it's this particular area. So it could have been like a mini part or like a brief look at that area, but it also just could have been some other area that just was snowing or they made winter. Let me see. Do you think we're going to get a complete weather system in Alpha 2 launch, such as extreme weather events? I hope we do. If I had, did I even put weather? I put night and day. I put seasons. Now, like, I think we'll get rain. If I had to pick a like weather, like I think we'll get rain and fog. I don't think I mean, what other weather, like what other extreme weathers would we get? Like a tornado? Like, I don't think that's going to happen personally, but I think rain will definitely be there, of course, for feedback purposes. And of course, fog, you know, there might be like some foggy areas into, snow. Well, that depends on the seasons, right? So I don't know. It depends. Like if they're going to be activating seasons, the seasons might end up being limited, but who knows? Like, I don't know. Blizzard, hurricane for tropics, heat wave, Sandsquall desert. What does a heat wave even look like? And what does a blizzard look like in an MMO? Again, like I think, look, if there was an event that you had to go through some extreme weather for like a particular part of time, I think that's, in my opinion, still pushing it, but it would be okay to me. But I really don't like having a lot of like impairing effects, because it's not a survival game, right? I'm not here to try to make Ashes of Creation like into a survival game or to have a lot of survival game mechanics, but I do want there to feel like there are some things that do happen in the game that are different from other MMOs. I just think it's going to be a very fine line that Intrepid has to walk to not enter into this survival game category, right? Because when you say a heat wave, like, I don't want to enter into the desert and then my health is chipping off because it's too hot. Like, again, we're not in survival game territory. So that's kind of like, again, where I personally just draw the line. Let me see. The desert has a sandstorm weather event. And again, that's fine. Like, if it's an event, I'm cool with it. But if it's just something that you have to endure for just being in the Sandstorm desert, like, I don't know if that's something I'll like. And honestly, I don't know if that's something the vast majority of people will like. Let me see. I like survival mechanics when they make you pay attention to your surroundings, gives the world more meaning. Well, at the end of the day, survival game mechanics is derivative from a survival game. Ashes of Creation isn't a survival game. I understand that they want to sometimes mimic or even take away some certain systems from survival games into MMORPGs, but again, that's where they have to walk that fine line into. So, and I believe that you can do that in other ways that isn't so survival gamey, if that makes any sense. Let me see. Maybe it'll take place during the quest, possibly. I mean, we'll have to wait and see. Like I said, all this is going to be all of this is going to be in testing. All of this is going to be feedback induced. It depends how it's done. Just could end up being annoying. Exactly. And to me, I feel like a lot of survival game stuff is just, it's annoying. Like it doesn't provide more meaning because the zone's this way. It just, for me as the player, I'm annoyed at the fact that I have to now do something additional because of a survival game mechanic. Like, I don't know, just, and again, you're also talking to someone too that isn't a survival game enjoyer, right? But I love MMORPGs. Let me see. No, I get that, but I feel like Steven said certain areas will require events and bosses will require certain amount of resistance to fight them, such as fire resist to fight a fire dragon. But that is just my hopes. And again, I'm totally okay with certain bosses having to have like requirements in that way. But when zones have that requirement on top of that, like that's, to me, it's like, it's kind of like drawing the line, right? And so you're kind of like teetering to stepping over that line for me personally. It should be weather hazards that affect the environment and events, not your character. But I feel like weather hazards events, like especially if they impair your ability to see in game, then it does affect your character, like in that kind of way, right? In my opinion, most survival games just add those loops without making them impactful. The long dark and Kenshi are great because not starving to death is like the game, not a stepping stone to the game. Well, I've never played those games. Like I completely, understand what you're saying, Nathan. It's just like I love it when Steven says that the Ashes of Creation is not a survival game. So I think as long as Steven has that mentality, I think developers will follow suit. I can't go into Sonjima right now, guys. I forgot my snowshoes and earmuffs. LOL, no thanks. Exactly. That's basically what I'm talking about. Like, I don't want a biome to dictate what gear you should wear or like what you can see. And again, it's very, very, very fine lines because again, this is also a particular generation and a time period where just a lot of people really love survival games. They do. That's why you see a lot of survival games just popping up out of the woodwork. We had Enshrouded, Nightingale. There was like two other ones that I think came up. And yeah, there's a lot of interest in them, like Valheim and stuff like that. But I don't like survival games. Skinny Bruce just said it. MMOs are not survival games. They're just not. They're two totally different types of gameplay. And I understand that when you like a certain gameplay loop, you want your like any other game to have them because you like that gameplay. But you can't make that just available like all the time, right? And that's basically what I'm saying. If you want a survival game, Quinfall just came. Oh my god. Does Quinfall have a lot of survival games? I mean, a lot of survival mechanics? I didn't know. I thought you were going to say PAX Day, to be honest with you. Hey, if you want a survival game, here's PAX Day. Life is a survival game? Dude, isn't it? Bro, isn't it a survival game? Oh my god. See, I agree with certain bosses and events. That was what I loved from classic base WoW mechanics. Oh yeah, me too. Like I completely agree with you. Let me see. 3 deep, bro. My god, dude. You guys are so funny. Jesus. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff that I feel like, I mean, to be honest, like, how do you guys feel about this? Like, if all of this came out at the start of Alpha 2, I would not be disappointed at all. Like, in the freaking slightest. I think this is actually a pretty good list. Is there anything that people that looking here that you don't see? Is there anything that you would want to see at the start of Alpha 2? I mean, that's within reason. Within reason. I know people are going to say mechanic, but I think honestly, this is a pretty full list, man. Like, I don't know. Like, it's just like story chapters. I mean, there's going to be quests, commissions, the classes. Yeah, I think it's a pretty big list to start off with. Yeah, I know. I mean, it's just like I had to really double take to think, is this asking for too much? But I don't. I mean, from what all of the live streams we've gotten so far, I think this is actually within reason. Like, I don't think I'm asking for the world, or I don't think I'm asking for anything that's really outside of the scope of anything. Because even if you look at all the stuff that's to come, right? We have like Rogue, Summoner, Naval, the other node types, the constellations, battle pets, Underrealm, Tolnar, Monster Coin System, Freehold, Housing, UI updates, Religion, Social Orgs, Augments, Castles, Sieges, Stock Exchange, Bounty Hunters, Auction House, Farla Games, dude, it's a lot, dude. This is a lot. Let me see. The only thing I would want is the Animal Husbandry. Yeah, I still have hope. I said my boy Corey at the professions, he's working hard at those professions, that I hope all 21 of them are available. Because it'd be really nice to start just immediately working on professions, and then you can just go and look up what the hell is arcane engineering. You can just go in your book and look it up, all the recipes that are potentially available for you to go and do. I think it'd be really, really awesome. Dang, it seems like this game has a lot of systems, doesn't it, dude? Isn't it so weird? Like, golly, this game has like actual content. Like, can you go figure, dude? How much do you think is reasonable amount for the cheap? I think severely limiting the professions. I think even 3 biomes. So if we were to do a cheap version of this list, 3 biomes, limited professions, dungeons would be probably very limited too. I can honestly see world bosses just being offline. I can see night and day seasons. Like, and it's just daytime. Like they're gonna put it the night and day cycle later. Like I can see that being, like they're still working on it, but I don't think that's truly the case. Guild Wars may be off the table in like a cheaper list. But no, honestly, like I think all this stuff is actually really, really good. Let me see. Doge plays Outbreak, dude. Thank you so much for the follow, dude. Thank you, and also welcome to the chat. Oh my god, nice gaming, dude. What is up, dude? I hope you're having a nice day. It's good to see you, buddy. Let me see. No, for the cost. Oh, for the cost of Alpha 2. Oh. Look, if Steven wants to charge $50 to $70, like I am totally fine with it. Like I think it's fine. It's the meanest Ashes content creator. No. Oh man. Let me see. What is your wife's reaction after you spent $250 on a game that was only in alpha? Oh my god, dude. It's so funny you say that, because my buddy, he bought so when I bought my package, I think it was in September 2021. He bought his in November of 2021. And I remember in December, his wife was going over charges of the credit card, and she was like, what's this 375? What's this to an Intrepid Studios? And then he was just like, oh, that was a Christmas present for your sister. It was like something that I got her on like was it like she tried to like pass it off like it was a Christmas present. And he got away with it too. His wife was like, oh, I don't remember we got her. So I was like, yeah, it's already in the box. We already got it for her. It's under the tree. And then she just never asked about it ever again. Oh my god. Let me see. I'm a Kickstarter. Oh my god, dude. Well, damn. It's kind of crazy. Like when I see people like Shibri and Vertec and Phantom that have been here for like 7 going on 8 years. Like, I'm like, dude, that's a lot, dude. Like, I don't know how they do that. Like, it's a lot. Hello, gamers. It's nice. Oh my god. Well, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and go for the night. You guys have been amazing. Is there anybody in chat or anybody in the Ashes category right now streaming Ashes of Creation? Let's look. Is there anybody that? Oh, okay. So there's the Hidden Dagger in. There's Drogue. Okay. All right. Who do you think we should raid? Drogue or Hidden Dagger in? Wait. I'm streaming me watching you. Wait, what? You're still streaming? I didn't wait, what? Oh my god. Oh my god. Let's raid Shadow Legends. Oh my god, nice, dude. Come on, dude. Gotta do it with pep. The raid Shadow Legends. Oh my god. Let me see. Drogue plays. Wears hats. Okay. Let's raid Drogue. He's playing darker and darker. All right, guys. Well, I had an absolute blast per usual. Thank you all so much for hanging out. Yeah, watch our next live stream starts with a Raid Shadow Legends ad. Dude, I still need to do that for my I gotta talk to my buddy to see how he can help me do that. Because I know you can do something in OBS where you can literally change like a scene and it just goes right into like a video. And I would love to do like the Raid Shadow Legends transition because I just think it'd be fucking hilarious. It'd be so funny. Oh my god. All right, guys. Well, you have a really good night. Stay safe out there, and I will see you guys on the next one. Have fun at Drogues.